Hey folks, Woodgeist here again with another project video. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the concept of the Kuksa. That's the wooden cup made by the Sami people of Sweden, I believe they're from. Usually made out of a birch burl. I've done a couple out of wood. This is one I made in 2012 out of maple burl. This is another that I made 2013 out of maple burl. This one's got some interesting inclusions. You see I put the lanyard through an inclusion in the handle, but I had to plug one up with super glue, hot glue. I've actually never carried or used this one. I have carried this one, but I don't do it much because I have a little problem with drinking from wood vessels. Anytime I touch wet wood, even with my hands touching a wet 2x4, it sends shivers up my spine. It really bothers me, and on the lips is especially bad. But I love the idea of having a vessel to carry with me that I can drink from while I'm out in the woods. And so I decided to try and remedy my situation by creating a kuksa out of a different material. So this is the first one I tried to make. This one's made of copper, all hammered into shape. Not certain what the gauge is. I think it's 22, but I could be wrong. It might be a little thinner. So I tried a couple things when I made this that didn't turn out well, or that didn't turn out the way I wanted. The main thing was that I tried to roll a rim on it. And it came out all sorts of uneven and with tears. So I was pretty displeased with that. But as a vessel, it's a nice size. And my thinking is less of a large drinking vessel to sit and have, say, your morning coffee from, more of a small one that you carry and you can dip into a stream and drink from. So after I tried this, I decided, when I realized I wasn't really satisfied with this, I decided I would try again. And that's key. If you ever want to make something, you're going to screw up, but you got to try again. So, tip to the people who want to try making things. So I tried another one. I didn't have any copper the same thickness, but what I did have was brass. Okay, so this is the second vessel I came up with, and this is based on a stream cup from, I believe it's workwearcanada.com. I'll put a link to that. The overall shape is of that one is what inspired this one. So this one is a bit narrower than the first one, and a bit longer and more of a leaf shape, with a little spout on the end. The spout sits a little low. I wish I would have managed to have it sit up at the full height, because that's going to set the maximum depth. But again, it's a fairly shallow, almost like a large spoon, for dipping into a stream to drink from. This is brass. You can see some of the brass coming through of the oxidization on the bottom, but the interior oxidization remained pink. And I figured I would keep it like that. You know, it's brass. It's going to tarnish over time. So why not start it now? So you can probably tell by looking at the work that I am really new to metal work. You can see very, very rough dimples and bumps, more so on the bottom. There's, it's not perfectly symmetrical, but I'm quite pleased with this one. Put a little lanyard hole. I will either make a lanyard out of wax jute, which is what I usually do, or I have this little belt hook that should fit. And then there's a little, positive clip to hold it onto the belt. I can detach. So yeah. So that is my copper Kuksa. Thanks for tuning in.